To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Kermit, this is it. This is my magnum opus. This is the video that they're going to remember me for. I'm finally gonna do it, Kermit. I'm finally gonna do what everyone's been telling me to do since the very beginning. I'm going to finally do a top 10 video. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. Now, if you couldn't tell from the title of the video, today's episode is all about the smells. And if you like smells of Disneyland, may I suggest the Magic Candle Company? Before we get started today, everyone, I just wanted to say that this video is sponsored by the Magic Candle Company. Head over to themagiccandlecompany.com and use code Offhand15 for 15% off your order, and it helps the channel out a little bit. You can get different candles like the Rome Burning Scent from Spaceship Earth, or the Orange Tree Scent from Soarin' Over California. They have tons and tons of different scents that you can choose from, even some Universal themed scents and some resort hotel themed scents. So head over there, use code Offhand15, and remember that every purchase you make really helps me out and helps out the channel a lot. But now let's talk about a different kind of smell. One that doesn't come from a candle. One that instead comes from the Disney parks themselves. The Disney parks are places that are known for their food, their attractions, their world-class entertainment, and we can't forget the attention to detail Disney puts in every nook and cranny of their parks. But there's something else dedicated Disney fans love about the parks, and it's not the food or the rides, but instead the smells that the attractions and the food themselves give off. From the musty, bromine-scented water from Pirates of the Caribbean, to the smell of the freshly popped popcorn and the cooking churros that you smell as you walk right down the middle of Main Street, USA. So like I said at the beginning, this is a first-of-its-kind, record-breaking, paradigm-shifting video talking about my top 10 favorite smells at the Disney parks. And yes, I am both the first and the only Disney YouTuber to have ever talked about this topic in this way. So without boring you for any longer, here we go. Let's talk about my personal favorite top 10 Disney park smells. Oh, it's 10. The first of many scents used to only be found at the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World, but recently came to Disney California Adventure. Mickey's PhilharMagic is a 3D film that you can find at the Magic Kingdom and California Adventure, but it also features a few 4D effects as well. For those of you who haven't seen it, the show features Donald Duck stealing Mickey's sorcerer hat and traveling through different famous scenes of different Disney movies. And obviously, of course, this causes a ton of trouble. The very first Disney movie Donald is transported to is Beauty and the Beast. And of course, the scene that is featured is Be Our Guest, and because the food is dancing and serving itself to Donald, you can smell all the food that is being prepared, and it smells fantastic. You can smell the pie that's being served to Donald, and you can also smell the champagne as the corks fly at your face at 1,000,000 miles per hour and probably scare you. It's for sure a pleasant scent, but it might not be the most memorable, which is why it only sits at number... what was it? Oh yeah, 10. Number upside down 6. The Caramel Küche at Germany in Epcot. And yes, it did take me a long time to pronounce that. This place, sponsored and ran by Werther's Caramel Company, is the absolute best place to go if you enjoy caramel or caramel, or however you pronounce it, and apples and treats and popcorn and anything you could possibly imagine, they have it there. And the smell, oh boy, the smell when you walk into that store is unlike anything else you've ever smelled before. It smells not only of fresh caramel cooking in the pot, but also chocolate and sweets and just magic. It's just magic. It will probably be my favorite place to go in all of Epcot once Club Cool meets its sad and untimely demise. But if you enjoy top-tier caramel and chocolate next time, stop by the Caramel Küche next time you're at Epcot. Is it safe to say it'll change your life? I think it's safe to say it'll change your life. It'll definitely change your life. Number Unfinished Snowman. Now, originally number 8 was just the smell of churros on Main Street, USA, because that's personally my favorite Main Street snack smell, but I really couldn't narrow it down on which one was actually the best. So I just decided to include all of the Main Street snacks. Number 8 is all of the Main Street snacks at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Doesn't matter where you go, they all smell fantastic. Odds are if you close your eyes right now, you can picture it in your mind's eye. You're walking down Main Street, USA, you hear the train behind you and the show going on in front of you, people all around you, and you can smell the ice cream, the churros, the popcorn, the cotton candy, the smell of the food cooking at the Carnation Cafe or the Crystal Palace, depending on which coast you're at. And that's why this made the list. Not because all of these individual snacks are fantastic, they are, that's not the reason though. It's because it builds the environment of Disneyland. It builds the Main Street USA atmosphere and lets you know that you're at Disneyland and you can relax now because everything's gonna be okay. Are there any Main Street snacks I forgot to list here? Let me know, because I might have forgotten. Like I said, I couldn't think of one specific smell to put in this spot, so I just had to put all of them in. And I don't regret it because they're all fantastic. The luckiest number of them all, not counting 3, of course. Now, this one isn't super apparent right when you walk in, but the Great Ceremonial House at Disney's Polynesian Resort smells fantastic. It's not really a smell you can describe. It's light and airy, and it smells like the Hawaiian Islands, I guess. Does that make sense? It doesn't smell like pineapple or, the ocean, but it smells like the islands. Not dirt. Let me explain. It's like one of those beach-scented candles you can buy at the store, except it's all around, it's not in your face, and it smells like Disney. The Magic Candle Company actually sells a candle based on the scent of the Polynesian lobby, and it says it smells of green tea and bamboo mixed together with a few hints of citrus. So that's probably as close as we will ever get to figuring out what the actual smell for the lobby is. But I hope that gives you an idea. The smell of the lobby and the atmosphere of the lobby are probably the most stress-relieving environment at Disney World. So if you ever need to relax and get away from the parks, make a reservation at Kona Cafe or just hang out in the lobby for a little bit. The Disney staff, they don't care if you hang out there for a little bit. Just don't take a nap in the lobby. But trust me, it is really, really hard not to take a nap in the lobby because it's just so relaxing. Ah, here it is. This one's actually the right side up 6. Now this scent is very, very similar to another smell that I'm going to talk about later, but it's still on the list as a separate number because it's a little different. The smell of the water, but not only the water, but also the animatronics and the sets in Splash Mountain is very unique. Because yes, it does have that very special water smell that most Disneyland water attractions have, but there's also something else. It might be the smell of the sets or the animatronics, but it almost smells like a new car. And you wouldn't think the smell of a new car and the water would go together nicely, but surprise, surprise, it actually fits really well and makes a fantastic smell. But now I get it, it's understandable. I look like a crazy person trying to describe these smells that I don't know how to describe to you. The same thing happened with the Polynesian, but I promise, one of you, if you go ride Splash Mountain today and go just take in the smell, you'll be able to know what I'm talking about. Hopefully. Either that or I really just am a crazy person. Oh, thank goodness we're halfway done. Have you guys ever had the pleasure of enjoying Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room at Disneyland? And no, I'm not talking about the lame shortened version of the one at Walt Disney World. I'm talking about the real, original Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, for the most part, at Disneyland. That is an experience unlike any other, and believe it or not, the attraction features a smell in the actual show building that is very similar to that of the Polynesian lobby in Florida. Perhaps it could be the old musty smell of the building, or the water, or the animatronics, or the man sitting next to you eating a Dole Whip. That is probably me. You can smell coconut and pineapple and flowers in the water, maybe even some cedar and vanilla if you get lucky. And no, I'm not just reading off of the Magic Candle Company description for the Tiki Room candle. Who would ever do that? Do you think you guys are noticing a running theme here? I think I really love the tropical smells. They really just make the experience for me. They really relax me, and I couldn't tell you why. An honorable mention for spot number 5 is the Tropical Hideaway, because not only do they serve Dole Whip, they also serve different kinds of foods that you can smell from all over Adventureland. And let me tell you, it's worth the visit. The bao buns, the raspberry Dole Whip, the orange Dole Whip, and the... Wait, what were we talking about? Number 4. Now, as a major history nerd, not just Disney history, this is probably my single favorite ride at Epcot. Maybe and quite possibly all of Walt Disney World. Known to most people as the Epcot Ball, not a lot of people know that there is actually a very, very amazing attraction inside of this geodesic sphere. This attraction takes us back in time through various points in human history, telling us our story as we go, narrated by Judi Dench. Guests pass through scenes of ancient Egypt and ancient Greece. They meet the Phoenicians, who are responsible for inventing our ABCs, kind of, but not really. And then we stop by Rome, and if you know about Rome, odds are you know about Alexander the Great and Alexandria. And if you're familiar with the memes, you know about the burning of the Library of Alexandria. And while Spaceship Earth shows you this horrible tragedy, they also pump through some amazing smells. Well, I guess amazing is kind of subjective. It just smells like smoke and fire, but it really adds the atmosphere, and it actually smells kinda good. And that's why I've have a candle that smells like it. I would never in a million years burn this, but when I open it and smell it, it smells really good. Reminds me of Epcot. So the next time you're getting angry about the burning of the Library of Alexandria, go stand next to a fire or buy a Rome-burning candle and get all of your senses involved in the anger. This number is 1 away from being 2. Now we can all agree that Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland is way better than Pirates of the Caribbean at Walt Disney World, right? right guys? Oh, well, I guess. All right, you can stop scrolling now. Okay, all right, you can stop scrolling! Okay, while I do think that Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean is better than Walt Disney World's, there is something at Florida's version that Disneyland's does not have. During the town scenes in this attraction, Disney pumps out smells of different fruits and foods you can find at the marketplace. It smells like a mix of bananas and coconuts and pineapple and rum, and you can kind of see that I like the tropical scents here if you're not catching a pattern. But then also after the marketplace scene, there is another smell that Disney pumps through the ride of smoke in the burning town, but it's not exactly the same as the burning Rome smell. It's more pleasant and it doesn't smell as realistic as the burning Rome smell, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's an almost sweet smelling smoke. I don't know where I'm going with this. What I'm trying to say is the smells in Walt Disney World's Pirates of the Caribbean are fantastic, and maybe someday they should bring them to Disneyland, because in my opinion, smells absolutely help boost the immersion of a ride experience. It doesn't feel so much like you're sailing through the Caribbean with a bunch of pirates when it smells like a warehouse, but if it smells like bananas and coconuts and rum especially, now we're talking. Wait a second. Speaking of Pirates of the Caribbean, we can't have a top 10 smells at Disney parks without... Now, I would say this number is definitely within my top 10 favorite numbers. Top 2 at least. Now come on. If you didn't think the smell of the water in Pirates of the Caribbean wasn't going to be in my top 10 favorite smells of the Disney parks, you're kidding yourself. It's in everybody's top 10. Now, if you've watched your fair share of Rob Plays, you know that the smell in the Pirates of the Caribbean and in Splash Mountain and most of the water rides at the Disney parks is caused by bromine in the water. And boy, do I love watching me some Rob Plays. Seriously, go check him out. He's amazing. The reason Disney uses bromine over chlorine, like lots of other places like public pools or other theme parks, is because it's less irritating when it comes in contact with human skin or eyes. Now, I could talk more about the ways that scientifically bromine is superior to chlorine, but I'm not fantastic at that. I'm not really good at the whole science thing. So again, I'll leave it to Rob Plays to explain it. Go check him out. I will link this video in the description down below so you can see more of why Disney uses bromine and why it's more effective than chlorine. And that's probably all the explaining I can do on the topic. The smell of the Disney World and Disneyland water rides are so unique, and it's probably one of the best smelly smells I've ever smelled in my life that smells smelly. But wait, this is only number 2. There is one more. There's one more ride that bumped this one up to number 2. There's one ride smell that I enjoy more than the pirate water. Can you guess what it is? You probably can. I don't know, guys. I feel like they just got lazy with this number. Like, it's just a straight line. I mean, come on, people who make up the numbers. Just try a little bit next time, maybe? Come on, everyone. Like you guys had any doubt that the Haunted Mansion would take the number 1 spot. It's my favorite ride of all time for more reasons than just the attraction itself. The smell is what I'm talking, it's the smell. Now, the smell of the Haunted Mansion is a smell I can't quite describe. It smells old and musty, sure, but it also smells different. When I've been staying at hotels in California before, I've caught faint whiffs of smells similar to those found in the Haunted Mansion, so it leads me to believe the musty old smell of the Haunted Mansion mixed with the smell of the animatronics and of course all the mechanics going, but also something they use in the construction of buildings in California or the preservation of buildings, or I'm not sure what it is, but it's something a lot of older buildings in California have, and that on top of the smell of dust and must. What's the difference between dust and must? What am I talking about? It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is this ties back into what I said about pirates earlier, is if the smell helps build the atmosphere of the attraction, it helps boost that immersion. And when it smells like I'm in a dusty, old, rundown haunted house, I feel like I'm in a rusty, musty, dusty, old, rundown haunted house. And that gives me a feeling I can't achieve on any other Disney ride or in any other place in the world, so that is why this takes the number 1 spot of my top 10 favorite Disney park smells. And now I know for sure that I have missed some smells that you guys absolutely love from the Disney parks, and you're probably yelling at me right now, but I want to hear from you guys. What are your favorite smells from the Disney parks? Doesn't matter what park it is, doesn't matter where it is, what is your favorite smell? And please, if you enjoyed this video, a like really goes a long way, so if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And remember that this video is sponsored by the Magic Candle Company. You guys know the drill. Just go get yourself some candles. And remember that while following your heart will never lead you astray, following your nose might lead you to some delicious food. So, I mean, really it's up to you. If you guys are wondering why it took me so long to upload this video, allow me to enlighten you. This is Miko, he's my new editor, and he's got little tiny paws, so it's really hard for him to move the mouse. But he's doing his best, and he wanted to thank you all for your patience, and yes, he is named after the raccoon in Pocahontas. Hello everybody, and thank you once again for watching a very unique and revolutionary top 10 video. I'd especially like to thank my patrons. This is the patron end of the month video, so you see those names scrolling by on the left hand side. I've actually recently added new tiers to my Patreon page, so that's why you see different names in different colors. Head over there in the description, check that out, and see if you are interested in donating to any of one of those higher pledges. Sorry, I'm kind of tongue-tied right now, but it's been a very busy week for me, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I think I've talked about Disney smells before, but never really this organized and this in-depth. So if you guys enjoyed this video, like I said earlier, please hit that like button, leave a comment, and tell your friends about it. This channel is doing so good recently, and it's amazing to me to see your guys' continued support. So thank you so much for that. And as always, I will see you all guys in the next video. Goodbye.